So in this session, we are going to discuss about the test case and test scenario. So what is the test scenario and what is the test case? First of all, these are the two major things which as a tester you need to know. Based on these scenarios, we design our test cases. So if I talk about the test scenario, so in a one-liner definition, that test scenario is nothing, it is a business case. And test cases how to achieve that business cases. So test scenario is a one-liner statement, but the test cases is a step-by-step procedure to achieve some business scenario. So let's look what is the basic difference between the test scenario and the test cases. So the test scenario is a high-level overview. At what it means that it is a broad description of the functionality or feature which we are going to test or we are going to validate. As I told that this is a business scenario. So the business scenario is basically what is the goal of that requirement. That is the business scenario. But if I talk about the test case, so the test case is a detailed instruction that how we can achieve that business scenario, what are the steps we need to follow, what are the test data is required, what input is required, and what is my expected for providing that particular input. So this is the basic difference between the test scenario and test cases. Now coming to the second point, test scenario is a less detailed. As I told that it is a one-liner or a short description, right? But the test case is a completely detailed description. It elaborates for that particular scenario what I have to achieve, how we can achieve that particular scenario. So let's take an example. Just e-commerce application, users should able to buy product from e-commerce application. This is a one scenario that as a user, I want to buy any product from the e-commerce application. So to achieve this business scenario, what are the things I need to do? That is covered in the test case. So here I am taking the example for the same scenario. And now you can see that for achieving this scenario, user should be logged in or user should be to buy product, user must be logged in. This is the one feature we need to test. Then user should able to search product. This is another feature we need to validate or we need to design the test cases. Then add to cart. When user search any product, then he or she should able to add that product into the cart. From the cart, user should able to buy the product. Means the user should able to move that product into the buy module. Now from the buy, user should able to pay for the product. Right. So these are the different test cases we will design to achieve one business scenario, that is user should able to buy product. Right. So it means that the test scenario can have a multiple test cases. One scenario can have multiple test cases to achieve that particular business scenario. Now take an example for the same e-commerce application. Let's say these are the few test scenario. That is a test scenario ID and the test scenario description. This is the template for the test scenario identification or for writing the test scenarios. So here you can see the test scenario 001. So I have just given a one scenario ID. You can give any name or as well, but it will always start from TS so that any person in the project or the business analyst or the product owner or any person who are involved in the project, they can understand, oh, this is the test scenario because this starts from TS. Now, test scenario description, user should able to log in into the e-commerce application. So this is one test scenario. The second test scenario, user should able to buy product from the e-commerce application. And the third one, user should able to cancel the order point. So I'm showing you how we can generate from one test scenario to multiple test cases. And also I will show you that for one test scenario, how we can design the test cases. So for here, you can see that test scenario one, user should able to log in into the e-commerce application. You can take any e-commerce application. I have not named any particular e-commerce application. So you can take any e-commerce application. So now for the first scenario, let's see what are the test cases we can prepare. You can see for one test scenario, user should able to log in into the e-commerce application. These four test cases are required, right? The first one is the user should able to register through phone to log in. To log in the e-commerce application, user must be registered, right? So for that, to achieve this scenario, first we need to register, or user should be registered. So registration can be done through phone. So this is the one test case. Through the email, this is the another test case. Through the social media credential, this is the another test case. So this is for the login. But if user is already logged, user is created their login ID, but they forget the password. So that is another one which we need to cover for this test scenario. And that is user should able to reset password link through forget password link. So this is the another way to log in into the system, that user is already registered. So user can forget the password. So how he will retrieve the password? So you can see here that for one test scenario, there are four test cases we have designed, right? These are the not the complete test cases, that, but yes, this is the test description we have defined. Now to achieve this test description, we will write some test steps. We will write some test steps. And that is what exactly the test case means. To achieve one scenario, in here, I have written the test case to buy product for the e-commerce application. To achieve this scenario, how many test cases we need to write? So let's see that how many test case is required to write. So here you can see that for this this scenario ID, that is number two, registered user should able to search product on e-commerce application, right? So for second scenario ID, we have written these many test cases: one, two, three, and four test cases for the second number of scenario, that user should able to buy product from the e-commerce application. To buy the product, user should able to search product, right? To search product, this is the steps. Precondition, what are the test type? Precondition, then a step on the search text box, enter iPhone. Let's suppose I am searching the iPhone. I want to I am searching iPhone. So on the search text box, enter iPhone. But to do this activity, this is the precondition. Application should be up, means application should be working. And since we are on the testing environment, so sometimes application is down, right? So in the testing environment, the application should be running condition. Then we can go and users. I have also written another precondition: application landing page should open. It means that already user is open that page, landing page of e-commerce application. So on the landing page, user is typing iPhone on the search text box and then click on search button. So what is the expected behavior? What should be the expected behavior of the application? Enter text box should display, that iPhone should be displayed. Then the product list for the iPhone should display with product description, price, image. So my this test's objective is achieved. You can also write test description or objective. So my this test objective is achieved, my test case is finished. But the scenario is not achieved. So now for the same scenario, I am writing the another test case. Registered user should able to add search product into cart on e-commerce application. So search product, then click on, now here you can see that. Then add to cart and buy buttons. Buy button should display. So now user is clicking on add to cart button. Why? Because my objective is to add to cart into the cart. So add to cart button. Now product should added into the cart. In cart image, one should display on the top of the page. If you see the cart icon, then there would be one number should display, right? Now navigate to cart. Then cart should display the added product. Added product means iPhone should display. So this is my second test of objective achieved. So now my test case is finished. Now moving to the third test case. Guest user should also able to add the search product into the cart, right? So this is another scenario. Only the registered user in the e-commerce application to buy product, you must be as a logged in as a guest user or as a registered user. But to search product, add to cart, you can do this functionality as a guest user as well as the registered user. So for the registered user, I have written this. Now for the guest user, the same requirement, same objective that guest user should able to add such product into cart. Now you can see the same steps. Now the fourth test case to achieve this one. Registered user should buy product on e-commerce application because as a registered user, you can buy product. Or at the time of buying, system always asks provide the email ID, right? So now for that purpose, you can see the test cases. Search product, then add to cart, navigate to cart, then buy button, then you can see the pay button there. Now click on pay button. Now application should display the pay options. Now select the pay options. Credit card I have chosen. Now it will ask me these details to provide this detail, right? And then the pay button. Now fill the information. What information? This card number, CVV number, expiry date, and click on pay button. So application will redirect to the card issuer bank to confirm the OTP. No. Enter the OTP and then it will redirect you to the merchant site. Now this is the payment is done from your side, but still we have not verified that that product is purchased or not. We have made the payment, but still we need to verify that is purchased or not. So my e-commerce application will ensure me, yes, this product is purchased. How? It should move into the order phase, order stage. So view the payment status, payment is done. Then view the order status, then order is also successful. So now here you can see that for that test scenario, that user should able to buy the product, we have written 4 test cases. You can also write more test cases. I have just written 4 test cases to show you how for one test scenario, we can generate a multiple test cases. And if you see my test cases, so every test case is independent to another test case, right? On the every test objective, I have search product for add to cart. Also, I have search product for guest user, again I have search product. For buy product, again I have search product, right? Every test case must be independent from other test case. You can use, suppose if I want to use these many steps, I don't want to use these many steps. Let's say 1, 2, 3 here in this test case. So that thing I need to provide in the precondition step, that user is already added, you or one product is should be added, already added in the cart option. Then we can go from this steps. So it totally depends upon you that how you design the test cases. But remember one thing, the test case should be very crisp, clear. All the test cases should be independent. You can use the other test case as a reference, but not in the input step, in the precondition step. Hope you understand that basic idea about the test case and test scenario, right? So if you have any question, then you can put in the comment box. I will definitely answer your questions. Thank you.